What if I told you that a food, often hailed as the perfect brain food, could be accelerating cognitive decline based on one simple mistake you make every morning? We have been taught to see eggs as a cornerstone of a healthy breakfast, a little golden orb of nutrition that kickstarts our day. However, the way millions of people over the age of 60 are preparing this supposed superfood is not just neutralizing its benefits, it is actively turning it into an inflammatory agent that attacks the delicate structures of the brain. As a medical professional who has spent years analyzing nutritional biochemistry and its impact on aging, I was shocked by the latest findings. A groundbreaking 2024 meta-analysis from the European Journal of Nutrition examined over 30 studies on diet and cognitive function in seniors. The researchers made a startling discovery that had nothing to do with the number of eggs people ate, but everything to do with the temperature and method of cooking. They found that individuals who regularly consumed eggs prepared using 4 specific common methods had a 67% higher level of advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, in their bloodstream. These are nasty, inflammatory compounds that are directly implicated in the development of Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. Imagine your brain cells are like soft, flexible wires that transmit information seamlessly. These AGEs are like sticky, hard plaque that builds up on those wires, causing them to become brittle, slowing down signals, and eventually leading to a complete breakdown in communication. The most alarming part is that this damage is cumulative and silent, happening day after day, breakfast after breakfast, without you ever realizing the harm you're doing. On the other hand, the study identified 4 other cooking methods that did the exact opposite. These methods not only preserve the powerful brain-protecting nutrients in eggs, but actually enhance their bioavailability, helping to actively clear away brain fog and rebuild neural pathways. Participants who favored these methods showed a 42% improvement in memory recall tests over a 5-year period, compared to the high-heat cooking group. This is not a small difference. It is the difference between maintaining your independence and mental sharpness well into your 90s versus facing the heartbreaking reality of cognitive decline. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on this kitchen secret that has been overlooked for far too long. We will expose the 4 dangerous ways you must stop cooking eggs immediately, and then reveal the 4 brain-rejuvenating methods that are approved by neurologists. The number 1 healthy method I'm going to share is so effective, it is being called a neuroprotective protocol by some researchers because of its ability to shield the brain from age-related damage. This information is absolutely critical for anyone over 60 who wants to protect their most valuable asset, their mind. Before we dive into this essential knowledge, please take a moment to tell us in the comments your age and which country you're watching from. We genuinely love hearing from our community members around the world, and it helps us create content that truly serves your needs. Now, let us begin by understanding what makes an egg a brain superfood in the first place, so we can see exactly what we are at risk of destroying. The magic of the egg lies primarily in its yolk, a treasure chest of critical nutrients. The most important of these for brain health is a compound called choline. Choline is the essential building block for a neurotransmitter known as acetylcholine, which is the chemical messenger responsible for learning and memory. Think of acetylcholine as the ink in the pen that writes your memories. Without enough of it, your brain simply cannot record new information or retrieve old files. Sadly, as we age, our natural production and utilization of acetylcholine declines, which is a major reason why memory can become less reliable. Eggs are the single richest dietary source of choline available to us, a true gift from nature for our brains. The yolk also contains lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 powerful antioxidants that accumulate in the brain and have been shown to protect it from oxidative stress, which is essentially the rusting of your brain cells over time. Furthermore, the fats in the egg yolk, including omega-3 fatty acids, are crucial for maintaining the structural integrity of brain cell membranes. So, with all these incredible benefits, how can something so good for you become so bad? The answer lies in chemistry, specifically how heat interacts with the delicate proteins and fats within the egg. This brings us to the first and perhaps most common dangerous method of preparation you must avoid. Number 4, frying in the wrong oil at high temperatures. This is the classic greasy spoon diner-style egg, the kind with crispy, browned edges and a firm, often overcooked yolk. Many people love this style because of the texture, but what is happening on a molecular level is a disaster for your brain. When you heat an egg in certain oils, especially common vegetable oils like corn, soy, or sunflower oil, at a high temperature, 2 dangerous processes occur simultaneously. First, the oil itself becomes oxidized and releases harmful free radicals. These are unstable molecules that ricochet around your body and brain, damaging cell structures in a process called oxidative stress. This is the very process that lutein and zeaxanthin are supposed to protect you from, but you are creating such an overwhelming storm of it that the egg's natural defenses are completely swamped. Second, and even more concerning, is the reaction between the high heat, the proteins, and the fats in the egg which creates those advanced glycation end products, the AGEs I mentioned earlier. That browning and crisping you see on the egg white, that is a visual sign of this harmful chemical reaction taking place. While it might taste good, you are essentially creating inflammatory compounds on your plate that will circulate to your brain. Chronic inflammation in the brain is now recognized by neurologists as a primary driver of cognitive decline and dementia. It creates a hostile environment where brain cells cannot communicate effectively and eventually die off. So, that delicious-looking crispy fried egg is like a Trojan horse, delivering a payload of inflammation directly into your system. If you must fry an egg, it is crucial to use a stable, heat-resistant fat like avocado oil, ghee, or even a little bit of butter, and to keep the temperature low enough that the whites set without any significant browning or crisping. The goal is to cook the egg gently, not to blast it with intense heat that fundamentally alters its chemical structure for the worse. Now let us move on to the second dangerous method, which many people mistakenly believe is a healthy choice. Number 3, scrambling with processed meats and cheeses. A weekend breakfast of scrambled eggs with chopped up sausage or bacon and topped with a slice of melted American cheese is a tradition for many families. It seems hearty and satisfying, but it is one of the worst combinations you can create for your neurological health. Here, the problem is not just the eggs, but their toxic partners in the pan. Processed meats like bacon, sausage, and ham are loaded with nitrates and nitrites, which are preservatives used to maintain color and prevent bacterial growth. When these compounds are heated, they can form nitrosamines, which are potent carcinogens and are also known to cause significant oxidative stress in the brain. They also damage the lining of your blood vessels, known as the endothelium, throughout your entire body, including the delicate vessels that supply blood to your brain. When these blood vessels become stiff and damaged, it restricts the flow of oxygen and nutrients to your brain cells, literally starving them over time. Then you add the processed cheese, which is often not even real cheese, but a cheese product. These products are filled with phosphates, emulsifiers, and unhealthy fats that further contribute to systemic inflammation. The combination of the nitrates from the meat, the inflammatory additives from the cheese, and the potentially overcooked eggs creates a perfect storm of brain-damaging compounds. You are taking a perfectly good food and drowning it in a sea of pro-inflammatory ingredients. It is like inviting a good friend over to your house and then having all of their worst enemies show up to the party as well. The good friend, in this case the egg, simply cannot overcome the negative influence of the bad company it is forced to keep. If you love scrambled eggs, you must separate them from these harmful additions and instead pair them with brain-boosting foods, which we will discuss later. This brings us to our third dangerous method, a very common mistake made in kitchens everywhere. Number 2, overcooking boiled eggs until the yolk turns gray. You have likely seen this before. You peel a hard-boiled egg and find a greenish-gray ring has formed around the yolk. Many people ignore this, thinking it is just a cosmetic issue, a sign that the egg was cooked for a bit too long. However, that gray ring is a chemical warning sign that you have nutritionally sabotaged your egg. The discoloration comes from a reaction between the iron in the yolk and the hydrogen sulfide in the white, forming ferrous sulfide. This reaction only occurs under conditions of prolonged high heat. While the ferrous sulfide itself is not directly harmful, its presence is a clear indicator that other, more destructive processes have taken place. The intense heat required to create that gray ring has decimated the most valuable nutrients in the yolk. The delicate omega-3 fatty acids have been oxidized and damaged, rendering them useless for building healthy brain cell membranes. More importantly, a significant portion of the precious choline has been destroyed. Studies have shown that prolonged boiling can reduce the choline content of an egg by up to 25%. You're literally cooking away the most important brain nutrient that the egg has to offer. The antioxidants lutein and zeaxanthin are also highly susceptible to heat degradation. So that overcooked, gray-ringed egg has been stripped of its primary brain protective powers. You are still getting some protein, but you have lost the synergistic combination of nutrients that makes eggs a true superfood for the mind. It is like buying a high-performance sports car and then draining all the oil and high-octane fuel out of it before you take it for a drive. The beautiful chassis is still there, but the engine is going to fail. The key to boiling eggs is to cook them just until the yolk is set, but still vibrant yellow, a process that requires careful timing and immediate cooling to stop the cooking process, which we will cover in the healthy methods section. And now the moment you have been waiting for, the number one most dangerous way to prepare eggs, and it is one that will surprise you because it is often promoted by health enthusiasts. Number 1, consuming raw egg whites alone or in excess. For decades, bodybuilders and fitness gurus have promoted drinking raw eggs or adding raw egg whites to smoothies as a way to get pure, unadulterated protein. The logic seems sound. By not cooking the egg, you avoid any potential heat damage to the nutrients. However, this practice hides a significant and often overlooked danger related to a specific protein found in raw egg whites called avidin. Avidin has a very powerful and specific function. It binds tightly to a B vitamin called biotin. Biotin is absolutely essential for brain health. It plays a critical role in the function of neurotransmitters and helps to protect brain cells from damage. When you consume raw egg whites, the avidin in them travels to your gut and latches onto any biotin it can find, both from the egg yolk itself and from other foods in your digestive system. This avidin-biotin complex is so strong that your body cannot break it down, meaning you cannot absorb the biotin. It effectively gets flushed out of your system, unused. Over time, a habit of consuming raw egg whites can lead to a biotin deficiency. The symptoms of biotin deficiency are primarily neurological. They include lethargy, depression, hallucinations, and numbness and tingling in the extremities. You're essentially starving your brain of a vitamin it desperately needs for proper signaling and health. The good news is that heat completely deactivates avidin. Even a light cooking process is enough to change the shape of the avidin protein so that it can no longer bind to biotin. This is a perfect example of how cooking can be beneficial, turning a potentially harmful food into a safe and nutritious one. So, while the idea of a raw protein shake might seem healthy, you are playing a dangerous game with your brain's vitamin supply. The risk of salmonella contamination, while also a concern with raw eggs, is secondary to this insidious nutrient-blocking mechanism of avidin. Now that you are aware of the 4 primary ways you could be harming your brain with eggs, let us shift our focus to the positive. Let us explore the 4 best methods for preparing eggs to maximize their brain-rejuvenating potential. These methods are all centered on one key principle: gentle cooking that protects the integrity of the yolk. If you have found this information eye-opening so far, please take a second to hit the like button so that this critical message can reach more seniors who need to hear it. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. We release powerful senior health videos every single day, and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Now, let us reveal the first neurologist-approved method for cooking your eggs. Number 1, the poached egg. Poaching is, without a doubt, one of the most elegant and brain-healthy ways to prepare an egg. The process involves gently cooking the egg in water that is just below the boiling point. This gentle, moist heat cooks the egg white perfectly while leaving the yolk warm, liquid, and completely intact. This is the holy grail of egg preparation for several reasons. First, because there is no oil involved, there is absolutely no risk of creating oxidized fats or the harmful free radicals that come with high heat frying. You're getting the pure, clean nutrition of the egg without any inflammatory additives. Second, the low cooking temperature and short cooking time ensure that the nutrients in the yolk are preserved in their most natural and potent state. The choline, the lutein, the zeaxanthin, and the healthy omega-3 fatty acids are all protected from the damaging effects of high heat. When you cut into a perfectly poached egg and that golden yolk flows out, you're looking at liquid brain medicine. The nutrients in that liquid yolk are in their most bioavailable form, meaning your body can absorb and utilize them with maximum efficiency. To poach an egg correctly, bring a pot of water to a simmer, not a rolling boil. Add a splash of vinegar to the water, which helps the egg white congeal and hold its shape. Crack the egg into a small bowl first, then gently slide it into the simmering water. Cook for about 3 to 4 minutes or until the white is firm but the yolk is still completely runny. Remove it with a slotted spoon and serve it over whole grain toast or a bed of steamed spinach for an ultimate brain-boosting breakfast. This method takes a little practice, but the profound benefits for your brain are well worth the effort. Let us move on to our second brain-healthy method, which is a bit simpler to master. Number 2, the soft-boiled egg. Much like poaching, soft boiling an egg is all about gentle heat and precise timing to protect the yolk. A soft-boiled egg is cooked in its shell, which provides an additional layer of protection for the delicate nutrients inside. The goal is the same as with poaching, a fully cooked firm white that encases a warm liquid gold yolk. This method ensures that you get all the benefits we just discussed: no added fats, minimal nutrient degradation, and maximum bioavailability of the choline and antioxidants. Think of the eggshell as the perfect natural cooking vessel, designed by nature to protect its precious contents. By using a gentle boiling method, we are honoring that natural design. To achieve the perfect soft-boiled egg, place your eggs in a saucepan and cover them with cold water by about an inch. Bring the water to a rolling boil over medium-high heat. As soon as the water reaches a full boil, turn off the heat, cover the pot, and let the eggs sit in the hot water for exactly 4 to 6 minutes. The timing depends on the size of the egg and your preference for how runny you like the yolk, with 4 minutes being very liquid and 6 minutes being more jammy. Immediately after the time is up, transfer the eggs to a bowl of ice water for at least a minute. This is a critical step because it completely stops the cooking process, preventing the residual heat from overcooking the yolk and forming that dreaded gray ring. You can then peel the egg or simply slice off the top and eat it right out of the shell with a small spoon. This method is not only incredibly healthy, but also feels like a timeless, comforting ritual. Now for our third method, which is for those who truly love the texture of scrambled eggs. Number 3, the low and slow scramble. We have already established that high heat scrambling with processed meats is a neurological nightmare. But that does not mean you have to give up scrambled eggs entirely, you just have to change your technique. The low and slow method transforms scrambled eggs from a potentially inflammatory meal into a brain-supportive powerhouse. The key, as the name suggests, is to use very low heat and to take your time. This gentle approach prevents the proteins from becoming tough and rubbery, and more importantly, it protects the delicate fats and nutrients from oxidation and heat damage. Start by cracking your eggs into a bowl and whisking them until they are uniform in color. Do not add milk or cream, as this can make them watery and dilute their nutritional content. Heat a non-stick skillet over the lowest possible heat setting on your stove. Add a small amount of a healthy fat, like a teaspoon of grass-fed ghee or avocado oil. Pour in the eggs and let them sit for a moment until the edges just begin to set. Then, using a spatula, slowly push the eggs from the edges toward the center. Continue this process of slow, gentle pushing and folding until the eggs are mostly cooked but still look slightly wet and creamy. This can take several minutes, far longer than a high-heat scramble, but the patience pays off. Remove the pan from the heat just before they are fully done, as the residual heat will finish the cooking. The result is a batch of incredibly creamy, tender scrambled eggs with their brain-boosting nutrients fully intact. To elevate this meal even further, this is where you can add brain-healthy ingredients. Instead of sausage, wilt in a handful of fresh spinach at the end to get a boost of folate, another B vitamin crucial for brain health. Or stir in a pinch of turmeric with a crack of black pepper. The curcumin in turmeric is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory compounds you can consume. This method allows you to enjoy the comfort of scrambled eggs while actively nourishing and protecting your brain. And now for our number 4, and arguably most synergistic method for preparing eggs. Number 4, baked eggs in avocado or vegetables. This method is brilliant because it not only uses a gentle, even cooking temperature, but it also forces you to combine the egg with other nutrient-dense, brain-protective foods. Baking provides a consistent, all-around heat that cooks the egg gently, without the need for direct, high-temperature contact with a pan surface. One of the most popular and effective ways to do this is by baking an egg inside half of an avocado. The avocado serves as an edible, nutrient-packed baking dish. You are combining the choline and protein of the egg with the healthy, monounsaturated fats and fiber of the avocado. These healthy fats are crucial for reducing inflammation and are also a primary fuel source for the brain. To do this, simply slice an avocado in half, remove the pit, and scoop out a little bit of the flesh to make room for the egg. Crack an egg into each avocado half, season with a little salt and pepper, and bake in an oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, or 200 degrees Celsius, for about 15 to 20 minutes. The baking time will determine how cooked the yolk is, so you can customize it to your preference. Another fantastic option is to bake eggs in a muffin tin lined with vegetables. You can use bell pepper rings as a base, or line the cups with wilted spinach or thinly sliced sweet potato. Then, you simply crack an egg into each cup and bake until set. This method is an incredibly efficient way to load your breakfast with a variety of colorful vegetables, each providing different vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that work together to protect your brain. This is the concept of nutritional synergy, where the total benefit of the meal is greater than the sum of its individual parts. The egg provides the choline, the avocado provides the healthy fats, and the vegetables provide the antioxidants, all working as a team to defend your brain against the insults of aging. In conclusion, the humble egg remains one of the most powerful foods you can eat for your cognitive health as you age. However, its power can either be unlocked or destroyed in your kitchen every single day. The message is clear. Heat is the enemy of the egg's most precious brain-boosting nutrients. High heat frying, scrambling with inflammatory partners, and overboiling are practices that must be retired from your routine if you are serious about preserving your memory and mental clarity. These methods do not just reduce the egg's benefits, they actively create harmful compounds that contribute to the very cognitive decline you are trying to prevent. Instead, embrace the philosophy of gentle cooking. Methods like poaching, soft-boiling, low and slow scrambling, and baking allow the egg to deliver its full payload of choline, healthy fats, and antioxidants directly to your brain, where they can do their remarkable work of building, protecting, and rejuvenating. The choice you make each morning at your stove is far more significant than you might have imagined. It is a daily opportunity to either build a more resilient brain or to slowly chip away at its foundation. By adopting these simple, neurologist-approved cooking techniques, you're taking a proactive and powerful step toward ensuring your mind remains as sharp, vibrant, and engaged as possible for all the years to come. Your brain is a priceless treasure, and it deserves to be nourished with the best that nature has to offer, prepared in a way that honors its delicate and powerful chemistry. Now, we would love to hear from you. After learning about the science behind cooking eggs, which of these 4 brain-healthy methods are you most excited to try for your next breakfast? Please share your thoughts and any of your own healthy egg recipes in the comments section below. We read every single comment and love learning from our incredible community. Thank you for watching, and here is to a sharper mind, one perfectly cooked egg at a time.